Hello, lovely ladies. So excited to be back with you. Welcome to Rewire Your Attachment Style for Lasting Love. My name is Maya Diamond, and I just want to share today about this common pattern that I see in the women that I work with, that I've seen in myself, that is very, very common for women who have been in relationships with unavailable people or narcissistic people or addictive people or abusive people. And so this pattern is overgiving. And it's probably usually rooted in childhood. Some kind of overgiving maybe got started as a child. For example, maybe one of your parents you had to take care of, or maybe you were just mirrored that from your mother, that you should always be giving, 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 right? And that's a lot of women are trained to give all the time. And then when you have that pattern of overgiving, then it can be really hard to prioritize yourself, as well as really hard to not overgive in your relationships or in dating. For example, my friend who definitely had this pattern of overgiving, I remember at the beginning of dating, she would invite the guy over to have dinner at her house, and she would cook him dinner very early on, like the second date. And she realized, like, maybe I'm going to hold back on that, because that's a big gift that I'm giving, and maybe I can wait a little while until I really see that this person is worthy of that amount of time and energy and giving. So how does this overgiving look? It can look like paying for your partner's living expenses for many years. So please write in the chat box if you have experienced this, if you have been doing one of these behaviors. So one of them could be, paying for your partner for years for his living expenses. One could be literally getting into debt because of how much he has spent your money. Another thing that can happen if you're chronically overgiving and not having strong enough boundaries is you can always feel tired all the time because you're constantly giving to others. And so you're not replenishing yourself. You're not giving to yourself. So you're always feeling depleted and tired. And if anyone asks you for anything, you're immediately give it to them very quickly without even pausing and noticing, am I really a yes to giving this? Or maybe I could give it to them later, or maybe I'm a no to giving them this, right? And so it's so important to, overgiving. There's overgiving over here, and then there's having healthy boundaries over here, right? And so the more that we have healthy boundaries, the more that our chronic overgiving, becomes less and less. And the thing that's so crucial about this in terms of love and relationship and romance is that the more that we have our healthy boundaries, and I've seen this 100% in my personal and romantic life, the more that we have our healthy boundaries with men, the more they respect us, the more they treat us well, the more they try hard to impress us, the more they do all those things that we want, right? And so take a moment and please write in the chat box any ways that you, whether you're watching the replay or you're watching live, any ways that you feel like you have the pattern of overgiving. And again, I'll just name a few more of these overgiving strategies. And again, the reason I call them strategies is because a lot of the overgiving is rooted in this feeling of unworthiness. If I'm not worthy, then I need to prove to you how needed I am and how worthy I am by giving you something, by working hard for you or your love. Okay, so this is really deep here. So just take a moment and feel into that. Did you feel like in your childhood that in order to receive love, you had to give, you had to take care of someone? maybe your mom or your dad or your siblings, that you were always the one who had to take care of everyone else. I definitely felt that way in my family, that I was taking care of my mom, I was taking care of my sister, and you know, they were also taking care of me, but there was definitely a feeling of and maybe that was because I'm an empath, a feeling of I have to take care of everyone emotionally in the family. So I want you to just feel into that for yourself. Feel into, do you overgive? One, this question, do I overgive in romantic relationships? Do I give too much? And so I actually am A, working too hard, B, the man respects me less because he doesn't see that I have boundaries and he doesn't see that I'm giving to myself and taking care of myself. And three, what would it look like? I want you to ask this question. What would it look like to prioritize you and to make you the biggest priority in your life? What would it look like to really say, I am the priority? My needs, my feelings, my self-care is the priority, and my desires are the priority. Because one thing that is really powerful in terms of giving to yourself is getting the support that you need to do this deep healing work, to create the boundaries, to better yourself, to basically heal these places in yourself that feel like they're not enough, and then to be able to choose a healthy partner. And so there's a million different ways that you can go about doing that. But one of the ways that my clients have found is the most powerful is by doing this online coaching program that I've created. So I definitely, if you're feeling like you've been overgiving and that you're ready to take the next step to give to yourself, and beautiful, Bobsy, I love what you wrote. If you're ready to take the next step and give to yourself, then we would love to have you in this online coaching program that's designed specifically for women like us that have these patterns of overgiving, and that want to shift the attention to ourselves, to the deep healing work, as well to help us heal our attachment styles, as well as to help you heal your attachment style, as well as the deep healing work to allow you to reprioritize yourself, your needs, your interests, your desires, your truth, so that you can attract a man who meets you on every level instead of you constantly giving. Because we know when we're in a relationship with someone who's maybe avoidant or narcissistic or who is abusive, that it's very easy that they kind of can suck us dry, where we feel like we're just exhausted and depleted and we're just overgiving and we're not receiving the nourishment that we really deeply desire and deserve. So it all starts with us, right? It all starts with prioritizing you. When we prioritize you, what happens is everything shifts, because the universe sees that you are the queen, and the universe sees that you are the most important person in your life. And so when you're able to say no, when you're able to have boundaries, when you're able to stop overgiving, when you're able to prioritize you as the most important person, the universe responds. So I want you to, again, just feel into, where am I overgiving in my life? Is it with my friends? Is it with the guys I'm dating? Is it with the relationship I'm in? Is it with my mother? Where are you overgiving? And really think about, what's one thing that you could do this week to stop that overgiving and to give to yourself. And maybe it's hopping on a call with a member of my team, and I'm going to put the link in case that you're interested in this online coaching program. Maybe it is, just put it in there, in case you're interested in prioritizing you and prioritizing healing your attachment wounds and prioritizing you first, really loving yourself first. Another option is maybe this week it looks like you prioritizing a creative project that is really calling you. For example, singing, or one of the things that really feeds me that I can deprioritize and instead focus on other people and other giving to others and giving to my partner and da 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 da, is when I sing, then I feel a lot of nourishment, radiance, joy, love in my heart. It opens my heart. So maybe there's a creative project that you have just been really wanting to prioritize, but instead you're giving to others, right? So when we give to ourselves, we're taking the power back into our lives, and we're saying, I am important. I deserve love. I deserve my own love, number one, first. And I deserve to make healthy choices in my love life, right? So the more that we give to ourselves, the more we take that energy and we give to ourselves, the more we're attracting a partner who can give to us, right? That's what we want, a loving partner who's giving, who's generous, who's able to receive our love, but also able to give love in return, right? And who really, really nourishes that part of us that desires to be loved. So I'm just so happy that all of you are here. I see 6 women here. So please, as you're watching, please feel free to write in the chat box one way that you're overgiving currently in your life, and one thing that you want to do this week that you're committed to doing to stop that overgiving and to give to yourself. So what is the way that you are going to give to yourself this week? And again, it could be applying for a love breakthrough session with a member of my team. It could be telling your mother that, no, you can't go to her house this week because you're going to spend that time, taking a bath and lighting candles and listening to music and giving yourself some relaxation. It may be that you're going to prioritize yourself by going to the gym today. It may be that you're going to say no to that date that you feel like in your heart you're kind of not really feeling, and instead you're going to take that time to nourish yourself by making a really healthy, yummy meal. Whatever feels giving to you. What does it look like when you give to yourself? So and please, also for all of the wonderful, amazing women who are on the call, if you can, are on this live, if you can please write in the chat box any questions you have for me for this live Q&A. So I love answering questions. Do you have any dating questions or any questions regarding overgiving that might be, oh, great. I'm seeing now Anne wrote, going to a yoga class and doing 2 Zen workshops this weekend. Wonderful, Anne. I love it. So any questions about your dating life or your love life that you want me to answer today, I will be on for another 5 more minutes and would love to see if anyone has any other questions. And while I'm waiting for those questions, I'm just going to keep talking about this pattern. So this also is a pattern that relates to codependency, right? So if I give you this, then you'll give me something back, right? Instead of giving for the sake of giving, but not expecting anything in return. Right? So sometimes, again, these patterns are so ingrained in us, so taught to us from a very young age that we feel like we literally are not important unless we give, and that people will not value us unless we give, and that we will not receive unless we give. So take a moment to feel in your body right now you're valuable. I want you to close your eyes and feel this. That you are valuable and worthy whether you give or not. You are valuable and worthy, whether you give or not. You are important, whether you give to others or not. You are worthy of love, whether you give or not. So I just want you to really feel into that. And let me see now the questions. Should a man be more giving towards a woman to show his interest level to her? And thank you, Samantha. So yeah, in the beginning of dating, I want you to feel like basically patterns get set early on. So we always want to set the right patterns early on. So in my opinion, you want to see how crazy about the man is by leaning back and letting him give to you, which allows him to pursue you, which allows him to move towards you. So the more that you just let him pursue in the beginning, the more that he will pursue you, right? And you can continue that during the relationship. So the relationship, I would say an equal giving and receiving is fantastic. But definitely in the beginning, I would let him give a little more than to you. And exactly, that shows his interest level, Samantha, as well as it shows your ability to receive, which gives him joy to see you receiving his love and his care and his affection. And when we receive well by saying, oh, thank you, that's so lovely, thank you so much, I really love that, that really touches me, they really feel like you have received what they've given, which helps them feel good. And then Irina asked, what happens when you give to a guy and he doesn't give back, doesn't support you when you have a setback at work, it doesn't get excited when you share an accomplishment at work? Well, that would definitely sound like he's not really giving you the love and attention that you deserve. I would, if I was in a relationship with that guy, I would first of all give him feedback and let him know how that's affecting you, let him know your vulnerable feelings about how that affects you, and see what he comes up with, or make a request around it. And then if he can change, then, and positively, if he can shift that, then you could stay. But if he's not shifting it, then I would definitely leave. Because that's super important, that a man can be your cheerleader and really, value and give you support and encouragement as well. Especially, obviously people can't be perfect all the time, but if you're seeing this pattern that's not improving, especially after you give feedback, then I would definitely walk away, because that doesn't sound very available at all. Anne's question, I feel like the man that I'm dating is getting physical issues because he is afraid of having a new roommate, not sure what I can do. Oh, are you saying, Anne, that he is having erection issues? Is that what you mean by physical issues? If you can say yes, that if you're comfortable saying yes, that would be helpful for me to be able to answer the question. But I think that's what you're talking about. If not, if you don't feel comfortable, no worries. So, I mean, I guess the question is, yeah, so a lot of times men can have erection issues at the beginning of a relationship, but that doesn't mean that they don't like you. That doesn't mean that they don't want to be with you. It may be just that they're getting to know you and they're afraid of, they have performance anxiety, and it could definitely improve. And I would say if it doesn't improve on its own, then I would definitely, no. So what are the physical issues? Can you please write in the chat box, Anne? What are the physical issues? Oh, physical ailments. So, well, I mean, I would ask, how afraid he is of having a new romantic relationship. Does he want it, or does he not want a new romantic relationship? If he wants it, I don't think it's your job. I think you can, reassure, you can tell him you like him and that you're excited to, be in the relationship, but it's not your job to help him, deal with his anxiety around the new relationship. I would again, that could be the part of you that wants to overgive. Does he have support, like a therapist or a coach who can help him, with that fear that's coming up, right? So I would definitely try not to okay, so he's getting sick. Yeah, so is that your intuition that's telling you that that's what's happening? It doesn't sound, we might not know for sure. It is the winter. A lot of people are getting sick right now. So I would definitely see if he gets better, when he gets better, and what happens then before we jump to any conclusions. But I would definitely not caretake this situation. If he's interested and wants the relationship, he will pursue you. If he's not, then he will not. So, okay, really wonderful. Great. So thank you for all these wonderful questions. So wonderful to chat with all of you today. So great to talk about this topic. And please invite any of your friends who are single to this group, because we would love to have more amazing women in this group. And I will be back next week. And I have a really exciting thing, which is next Thursday at 6 p.m. PST, I'm going to be coming live with a live interview with a woman that I've worked with. So I'm super excited to share that with all of you amazing women. So thank you so much for coming on, giving you big, big hugs and lots of love. And I will see you next Thursday at 1:30 p.m. PST, as well as 6 p.m. PST for the live interview. Okay, see you soon. Have a beautiful week, and I look forward to all of you giving to yourselves. And if you're watching, please write in the chat box. If you're watching the replay, please write in the chat box #replay. Okay, lots of love. Bye.